Yeah. Welcome, everyone. This is Dr. Clark in the Center for Weight Loss Success. And tonight on Losing Weight USA, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the dieting mistakes, some pretty common ones. I've labeled it top 10 dieting mistakes and a little bit of how to fix them. All right, here's the official welcome. Welcome, Losing Weight USA. This is real-time answers to your weight loss questions. A little bit of the latest updates as well as some expert advice. That would be me. It gives you direct access not only to me to ask questions, but also you should be receiving the health tips and recipes via the membership portal. If you have questions, kind of type them in during the presentation. If you think of things once we're all done, then give us a yell here at the Center for Weight Loss Success. The email is success@cfws.com. Phone number 757-873-1880. I mentioned that each webinar is going to last about 30 minutes or so. Again, type those questions in as they come up. We'll get to them at the end. Just go into the chat box there. All right, let me flip over to the screen share. There we go. Yes, we all make mistakes, dieting mistakes. Okay, yes, we all make mistakes, especially when we're trying something new, like weight loss. And you can say, weight loss, whatever it is, whenever you're trying this, again, it's trying something new. And mistakes are really just an opportunity to learn. And mistakes are an opportunity to change what we do. So if we make mistakes and then we kind of figure out why we make those mistakes and what can we do differently. So we're going to talk about some of the common mistakes that are very commonly made during weight loss. And again, what can you do about them? So mistake number one, all right, kinda working on weight loss. I probably say this every couple of weeks or so, that kind of working on weight loss, it doesn't work. Okay, we often want that quick fix, and weight skills, weight loss skills, weight maintenance skills have to be learned over time. That's really true for any skill. Okay, whether trying to hit a golf ball or shoot a basketball or whatever it is we're trying to do, any skill has to be learned, and then it has to be practiced. And it needs to be practiced over and over and over. It becomes kind of almost that muscle memory of kind of this is what we do. Okay, so it's practiced over and over to become a lifelong habit. No athlete, if you're an athlete, you're trying to make the Olympics, you can't just kind of do it. It's like, no, you're going to be all in, so to speak. You're literally doing absolutely everything to take yourself to the next level. So commitment is absolutely essential. That doesn't mean we have to expect perfection, because reality is we'll never be perfect. We'll never do it right. Even the best in the world never do it all right all the time. It takes practice, it takes diligence, it takes commitment, and we have to keep working on it over and over and over. And some days we do better than other days. That's just the way it is. But I assure you that kind of working on something, especially weight loss, will not work. Mistake number two, making weight loss too complicated. Sometimes we try to make this harder than it really needs to be. Yes, weight loss is hard. There is no doubt about it. But you really want to just stick to the basics. I often kind of give you what I call the basics of an eating plan, the core of the eating plan. Stick to the basics. Okay. So what are the stick to the basics? Well, it's basically the three tiers of kind of weight management: dietary changes, behavior and habit modification, and increasing activity and fitness. Work on these three things. And it's really then what to do on each of those. But don't make this too complicated. And again, we have to change something in order for change to occur. And you want to slowly work on developing these three areas, and you'll continue to make progress. And again, sometimes we make mistakes. We fall off the wagon. We get, things, we don't do what we need to do what we, sometimes we do the things we don't want to do, or we know we shouldn't do. Sometimes we want to do them. But anyway, you got to stick to the basics and then kind of work on those things. And once you get the basics down, then it's kind of working on the little nuances. A lot of times people I'm going to digress here for a minute, will come in and tell me, they'll ask me this question, well, will B-complex injections help me lose weight? Like, well, maybe. The bottom line is they're not going to help you lose weight if you're not doing the basics right. If you're doing the basics right, then yes, these other things can help you. Can taking chromium help? Can taking this supplement help? Well, yes, they can, but you have to do the basics right. If you don't do the basics right, it's like, why bother? Maybe these other things, but very likely they're not going to be that helpful if you're not doing the basics. And you got to stick to the basics. Don't make this harder than it has to be. That doesn't mean this is easy. Okay. Simple and easy are two different things. I've done just, a number of videos on our Facebook site recently about talking about kind of simple and easy. They're two different things. Simple does not equal easy, but the concepts are simple. The doing them is actually hard, but you want to stick to the basics there. So slowly work on these three things, these three areas, and you'll continue to make progress. Mistake number 3, not exercising. Okay. Exercise is very, very important in a weight loss plan. Exercise is not how you lose weight, though. It's actually a rare person that can lose weight by exercising. But exercise is, again, very, very important in a weight loss plan. And it's not because the exercise itself makes you lose weight faster. What it does, it helps you preserve lean body mass. If you preserve lean body mass, it's going to help keep your metabolism higher. A pound of muscle burns a lot more calories than a pound of fat. A pound of well-trained muscle burns a lot more calories than a pound of couch potato muscle. So therefore, yes, the better trained you are, the more in shape you are, the more you're working at your fitness, yes, the higher your metabolism will be. So overall metabolism is dependent on this. When we go into calorie restriction, which is basically a diet plan to lose weight, and by definition, if we're losing weight, we're taking in less calories than we're spending. So if we're in calorie restriction, your body will preferentially try to break down lean body mass, and that's a survival mechanism. Your body doesn't know when you're going to eat again. Your mind may know exactly when you're going to eat again, but your body doesn't know that. Your body kind of assumes every meal you have is the last meal you'll ever have. So if that were really true, what would get you to survive the longest period of time? Breaking down lean body mass would get you to survive longer because you'd slow your metabolism down and subsequently you'd survive a much longer period of time, which works wonderfully for survival. Unfortunately, it does not work well for losing weight. So it's an exercise as a way to preserve lean body mass, keeps metabolism higher during a calorie restriction. The best exercise for that is weight training. So exercise, very, very important. It isn't the way to make you lose weight, though. Those are two different things. Mistake number 4, avoiding the scale. I'll sometimes see patients that'll come in and say to me, I only weigh when I come in to see you. I was like, what? Why? Don't you want to know where you are? It's like, no. Well, I can't fathom why that's a good thing. Avoiding the scale. Avoiding the scale is just a form of denial. That's all it is. The scale is still the best monitor that we have. If you step, I encourage people weigh themselves every day. Sometimes, only weigh once a week. Well, most of my patients are so sensitive to carbohydrates that if they're weighing themselves once a week, there can be massive changes within a week's period of time. And looking back over a week, it's like you'll have no idea what actually changed. But if you weigh yourself every day, then you can look back over the last 24 or 48 hours and try to figure out, okay, what was different about the last 24 or 48 hours that changed this? What worked? What didn't work? So avoiding the scale is just a form of denial. It's the best monitor we have. And the most successful dieters, most successful people that are keeping the weight off, weigh themselves daily. And I encourage them, make it a habit. Now, take that a step further is that if you don't, the best time to weigh yourself is early in the morning. And so if you don't weigh yourself early in the morning, don't bother. Wait till the next day. So if you forget, you get up and you forget, don't bother. Just wait till the next day. So there is a corollary to that too. Then yes, I encourage people to weigh themselves daily. Do it early in the morning. If you forget, wait till the next day. Mistake number 5. Believing genetics are responsible for your weight. Okay, I mean, how many times do I hear, okay, everyone in my family, it's genetics. There's no way that I'll ever get this weight off. Okay, yes, genetics do influence this. I do not want to deny that. That is absolutely true. But typically using that is just an excuse. Because reality is we still have to take in more calories than we're spending in order to gain weight. There's no way that doesn't still work in the long term. Short term, sure, hormonal changes will occur, and yes, that can influence weight. But long term, we have to take in more calories than what we're spending in order to gain weight. So genetics are influential, but to just use that as your reasoning is an excuse. Weight actually is more likely contagious rather than inherited. What I mean by that is we typically kind of turn into or become the people we spend the most time around. So if actually that's typically our family and friends. So typically we start behaving like our family and friends. That doesn't necessarily mean that everyone needs to do that. So it's more likely contagious, more than it's actually inherited. Mistake number 6. Giving in to the saboteurs. I think it was last fall when we talked about sabotage. It's a cool word anyway, but giving in to saboteurs. And they're everywhere. Saboteurs are everywhere. Friends, family, acquaintances, you deserve this. Oh, just a little bit won't hurt. It's the holidays. Hey, we're celebrating. It's Friday. It's St. Patrick's Day. It's whatever day you want to call it. There's always going to be saboteurs out there. So, kind of be prepared to say no thank you in multiple different ways. Lots of different ways to figure out to say no thank you. You want to kind of deflect the comments of, gee, Aunt Sally will be crushed if you don't have more of her cake. It's like by changing the subject and tell them how wonderful Aunt Sally's cake is without actually eating it. So explain to them the importance of this, and you value their support. So what you want to try to do is for those saboteurs is turn around and make them supportive. And what you want to do is ask them for their support. This is what I'm trying to do. Can you help me with this? Because I need help. This is hard. And what you may do is gain a supporter, and then you could actually support each other. Mistake number 7. Being inconsistent. And this is true just about everybody. We tend to be, work on it for a while, and then we kind of fall off the radar. So we take the weekend off. I deserve a little vacation. And yeah, we do deserve vacations once in a while. But weight management is consistency. And consistency goes along, again, with that commitment that you're making. So you have to commit to doing this and be consistent with it. It's very easy by taking the weekend off to really, bombard the last 5 days where you worked really hard. You take the weekend off and you've lost all ground and you're starting all over. Relatively easy to gain 5 pounds over a weekend. It's going to take you 2 weeks to get that off again, if not even longer. So if we take the weekend or have that weekend think that, okay, I can just kind of let it go over the weekend and I'll work really hard during the week, that may work for a few people, but not that many people. So consistency is very, very important. Write down what your motivations are. We talked about this at the beginning of the year. Write down what your motivations are, what your goals are, and kind of why you're doing this, and then review them. pull them out, kind of look at them every few days, post them where you see them all the time, whether it be your bathroom mirror, on the refrigerator door, on the pantry door. Write down your motivations. Why am I doing this? And every time you're struggling a little bit, pull them out and kind of review them. This is why I'm doing this. So being consistent, very, very important. Mistake number 8. Not eating enough. Okay. We do see this sometimes. Basically, starvation has never been a good weight loss plan. Okay. Now, kind of the exception to that is just a couple of weeks ago, I did a whole discussion on intermittent fasting. Okay. And intermittent fasting, again, was just a pattern of eating. That's all it is. It's a pattern of eating. It's just a different pattern of eating than what we commonly think of. So we sometimes think that less is better, but there is that exception. I've become a believer, so to speak, that intermittent fasting actually can be helpful for lots of reasons. If you're wondering why, without getting all the details here, so go back and watch that webinar. But I also did I did a few Facebook videos on there, fairly quick videos doing the same thing as looking at intermittent fasting there. So the common thinking about eating is that less is better, and that's not always true. Again, starvation has never been a good weight loss plan. Yes, calories will go down. If you're truly starving, yes, you will lose weight, but you're going to slow your metabolism down significantly. You're going to lose a significant amount of lean body mass, and subsequently in the long term, it's going to make it a lot harder to lose weight, and it's making it a lot easier to regain weight. So again, starvation has never been a good weight loss plan. It goes along with kind of keeping up with the exercise. And my experience has been is that if you're getting your protein in, you're going to get in enough. So a lot of times when people say you're eating too few calories, what they're probably really saying is that you're eating too little protein. If you're getting enough protein in, your calories will actually probably be fine. So kind of that's in my mind, getting the protein in is going to actually get the calories in the right level. Okay, so if you're getting your protein in, you're probably not going to be too low on your calories. But there is some truth that not eating enough won't work very well. Again, it slows metabolism down, makes it harder to actually lose weight. And it's because you'll lose lean body mass. Mistake number 9. Skipping meals. Okay, this kind of goes back to the exception there is that intermittent fasting thing. So skipping meals, but generally skipping meals is not a good idea, especially breakfast. When we sleep at night, okay, sleep is our recovery time. Okay, and hopefully you get quality sleep, because quality sleep is going to influence your weight too. So it'll help you. Quality sleep will. Poor quality sleep will be detrimental to your weight loss plan. So quality sleep, but when we sleep at night, we go to sleep, that's our recovery period. Our metabolism slows significantly during sleep. And that's a good thing. It helps us recover. But when you wake up, you want to bump up your metabolism pretty quickly there. So one of the best ways to do this is eating breakfast. Certainly, if you can jump on the elliptical or go out for the bike ride or go out for the run early in the morning, and it's like that's a way to bump up your metabolism too. But actually, one of the best ways is eating breakfast. And if you're going to have breakfast, is make sure you get a protein start to your day. Kind of another, I'm going to say, exception corollary to this rule, really two of them. One, the intermittent fasting thing is okay if you're kind of skipping a day. There is benefit to acute stress versus chronic stress to weight loss. Again, I tell you, go back and listen to that intermittent fasting video. But the other thing there is, and I forgot what the other thing was now. Where was I going with that? Oh, okay, skipping breakfast is that if you're going to get up and have a carbohydrate breakfast, it's better to actually skip breakfast. So what we find is when people get up and have a carbohydrate breakfast, they actually tend to eat about 200 or 300 extra calories a day versus getting up and having a protein breakfast, and they tend to eat less during the day. So if you were planning on getting up and having a carbohydrate breakfast, it's probably better actually to skip breakfast. So that's kind of the little exception to that rule as well. But generally, one, I don't encourage you to skip breakfast. If you're going to have breakfast, have a good protein start. So don't skip breakfast. A good time to have that protein shake. It's easy, it's quick, it gets your metabolism boosted up fairly quickly. Protein is harder to digest than other things. Boost your metabolism up quicker. Mistake number 10. Having that all or nothing or all or none mentality. Okay? And we're all probably fall into this trap once in a while. But weight loss, eating, all this stuff, all these behavior changes is a learning process. We're human. Don't expect to be perfect. We won't be perfect. And that's just the way it is. So accept the mistakes and move on. Okay? Learn from the mistakes. Kind of review, okay, what happened? What went wrong there? What can I do differently? The reality is we didn't gain the weight with 1 or 2 bad meals. It's like, no, we gained it over a significant amount of period of time, and therefore it's probably going to take an extended period of time to actually lose the weight, and it's something that we need to work on continuously. So, learn from our mistakes. What will we do different next time? And get right back on track with the next meal. Don't beat yourself up. And don't throw in the towels like, oh, I had, in the middle of the morning, I had a Snickers bar, and all of a sudden I'm going to throw the rest of the day out the window and I'm going to eat like crazy. It's like, no, accept your mistake, move on, get right back on track with the next meal. Don't wait till the rest of the weekend or the rest of the week or, the beginning of the next month or whatever. You'll find you're doing that over and over and over again, which won't work well. All right, so summary. To err is human, but it does not define your destiny. So don't let mistakes derail your weight loss plan. And basically, this is what we do here. We're here to help kind of find out. If you're struggling, get in for some counseling sessions. That's what they do, is that they'll help you kind of figure out the solutions. And don't expect me to be a counselor. I'm just not a good counselor. I'm going to tell you this is what you need to do. Okay, and you just need to do it. But counselors can help you with figuring out how you actually get it done. That's what they're better at. All right, but this is what we do here at Center for Weight Loss Success. So give us a yell if you're struggling. Be happy to help you. Questions? So if you think of questions, don't hesitate. Pick up the phone, send us an email. Should be stopping by the office here. We encourage you to stop by, get your body comp done. I harp on this all the time. Preserving lean body mass, very, very important. You should be receiving the weight loss tips as well as weekly recipes. Log into the membership portal. We keep adding new things all the time, so make sure you're getting back in there. Tune in each Tuesday, 6 o'clock for the next webinar. Watch your email for the invite and link. And remember, it's your life. Make it a healthy one. Have a good evening, everyone. Take care.